What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the library. This is Mr. Collier. I just want to take a few minutes to talk to you about your project for Mr. Donahue's synthesis class. There are a couple of things that I did want to point out to you. I know that you're already watching this video, but I am going to give you the reminder that you can find everything on the library portal. If you go to library.marist.com, click on Marist Library there in the middle and go to the library portal. I already have all of these tabs open at the top, so don't get confused if I'm clicking up at the top rather than on the links. If we go to the library portal and you scroll down just a little bit under Documents, you will see the Synthesis Research Pathfinder right here, and this is what I'm going to be showing you today. So everything comes off of this link right here. The video guide that you're watching now can also be found on the library portal as well. I will start off with the thing that's at the bottom, which is go ahead and use Wikipedia. Wikipedia will be a great place to get a handle on what you're after if you don't already understand your topic. So if you go to Google, you search for whatever your topic is, obviously one of the first things is going to be Wikipedia that pops up, and you can read this and get an idea of what your topic is. But you cannot rely on Wikipedia as a source. This is what's called a tertiary source, so you're relying on a whole bunch of different people with different points of views. What you want to do is scroll down to very nearly the bottom and look for the references, sources, or notes section, depending on how they've titled it, and you can backtrack the original sources that the people who wrote the article used. You will find that a lot of these DOIs point to JSTOR articles, which is one of the things I'm going to recommend that you use in the Pathfinder. Going back to our guide, I'm starting with Gale. Obviously, that's one of our favorite things to point out to you. When you go here, you need to sign in. My suggestion, although you can search here in the basic search box, is to scroll down a little bit, click on religion, and then search within collection. That way your search is restricted to the religion collection, and if you're searching something like Trinity, you're not getting Trinity College in Dublin, Ireland or something like that. You're actually getting the Holy Trinity. You will notice that there are a lot of articles from the New Catholic Encyclopedia and the Encyclopedia of Religion. These are awesome. They're going to answer a lot of your questions. There are other things in here, such as the Encyclopedia of Philosophy, which is down here. That's fine to use that as well to flesh out whatever you are talking about. I will say that if you're using the New Catholic Encyclopedia, you will see that these articles are fairly extensive. I'm not going to scroll all the way to the bottom and make you motion sick, but this is 10 to 15 pages long, and will cover pretty much everything that you need to know about the Trinity. I know Mr. Donahue is not making you guys do a works cited, but if that does pop up, remember that you can cite using the button up here at the top, and you can export straight into Noodle Tools with this little button right here. And while Gale is useful for those general sort of reference articles, sometimes you need things that are a little more specific. That's where EBSCO and JSTOR come in, because they'll dig into more details. EBSCO, once you've signed in, will link you straight into the ebooks and the AP source and the religion and philosophy collections, which are the ones targeting this particular project. I can do a bit more in-depth search in here, something a little more specific. What I will find in here is a combination of journal articles and books. One really annoying aspect of EBSCO is that it will return results that you cannot actually read on the computer. To make it stop doing that, go over here on the left, click this little box that says full text. That's going to get rid of all of those things that you can't actually read, and there were about 60 of them right there in those results. If you want to narrow down further, there are other limiters like date ranges or types of publications, like if I just want academic journals or just ebooks or something like that. For instance, I don't want to read 290 articles, but clicking on just ebooks gets me down to 50, and then I can easily scroll through all the titles looking for things that would be helpful for my topic. So for instance, this looks very useful here, was Jesus God? What this will do is open up a summary of what the text is about. Over here on the left is the PDF, which will give me the entire thing and open up the book on the page. I'm not going to go through the entire book for you. There's a table of contents here on the left, or you can go page by page if you want to read it that way. You can also save this document here, and while EBSCO doesn't export citations for you, it will generate a pre-formatted citation using the Cite button at the top. JSTOR is a little bit different. One thing I definitely want you to do is make sure you log in. It does not require you to do that before you start searching, but you won't be able to read anything unless you actually log in. So scroll down a little bit, and the password is right there on the Pathfinder. And the way you can tell that you're logged in is it says access provided by Marist School. Here's the search box, pretty straightforward, nothing special to tell you about JSTOR other than you will find a lot of extraneous materials that are connected to your search, including things like artworks, which are fine if you want to include that in your presentation, but the materials that you're really after are down here. You can limit it to just books, journals, things like that, just like you did in EBSCO. So for instance, if I just do a journal search, and then I can cruise through this list of titles. If I want to limit further from things like publication date or type of publication, I can do that even more so. Right now I'm just going to scroll down this list here, look for something that seems to be applicable to what I want to do. The religious significance of the humanity of Jesus. Bang, I've got that. The one thing I want to warn you about with JSTOR is its reader is a bit clunky. You have to go through one page at a time. If that gets annoying for you, you can download the PDF. It'll say accept our terms and conditions, and then it will open up the entire PDF in one thing that you can just scroll through. Keep in mind that JSTOR, like EBSCO, will not cite things straight to Noodle Tools, but it does give you pre-formatted citations using the Cite This Item button on the left. That's pretty much it for the databases. Going back to internet sources here, when you are looking at websites, be aware of the reliability of anything, particularly the Catholic versus non-Catholic perspective, because there are a lot of non-Catholic sites out there that will feed you false information just because they don't like the Catholic Church for some reason. Here are 3 examples of very good websites that you could use. For instance, the Vatican has an archive. The U.S. Council on Catholic Bishops also has similar stuff on their page. This is the What We Believe page, but the things that you're after are over here on the left-hand side. Sometimes I find this a little bit easier to read than the Vatican site. They're both about the same. New Advent has a copy of the Summa Theologica. This is Thomas Aquinas' summation of church theology. You can use the search box up here at the top, but I recommend just go down to the bottom and look at the little headings in part 1, 2, 3, 4, and see the parts that you're after, and then click it, and use your friend Control F and type in what you're after, and there I find the parts about the human nature of Jesus down here. And I can click this and it'll take me to even more specific things. So that is about it for all of the resources that I wanted to show you today. If you have questions, feel free to email me or stop by my Google Meet. Good luck with this, guys. Stay in touch, stay healthy, and I will see you later.